Looks like we're live.
Hello. Hello, Internet. How you doing? This is Have You Seen? Episode 100 live on YouTube. I am Kieran Lefort. That's Tom Webb.
As always.
For some really stupid reason, we decided to do this one live and in video form.
Yeah, so you're in for quite an awkward next, I don't know how long we're going to go really. We'll just see, play it by ear, I guess.
Yes.
So what have we got lined up?
Well.
Go on.
Okay. I pitched Tom Gravity. Look, I pitched Tom Gravity. This is going to take some getting used to.
It is,
last week, or 2 weeks ago, I pitched Tom Gravity because we did Extremes of 3D. And he pitched me Drive Angry 3D. We can say these definitely are the extremes of 3D. We encourage you to live tweet the show at HYS Podcast, I think.
Yeah,
that's
right.
us, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the hashtag is HYS Live. We have iPads and things, and we're monitoring all that kind of stuff. So if you have anything to say, go for it.
The hashtag might actually be HYS100, but
It's HYS100. There we go. We're off to a rocking start already.
we are. Should we start with Gravity then?
Let's start with Gravity.
Okay. Do you want to recap it and then we can have a chat about it?
Yeah, I could do. Right. So,
Go on.
what happens? Where am I looking? Look at me. Okay. This is where we do it audio usually.
Yeah.
So, Gravity is Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Is an astronaut. She's on her first mission because she's more a medical kind of mechanical, electronic scientist type person.
Yes.
Yes, and she's created a thing that needs to go in a satellite
Yeah.
or the Hubble telescope.
Hubble telescope, yeah.
Telescope. And so she and George Clooney are up there fitting this thing, and everything goes horribly wrong.
Yes.
The Russians
Very
decide
much so.
they're going to blow one of their own satellites out of the sky with a missile,
Yeah.
and the debris hits Bullock and Clooney. And for lack of a better phrase, it all goes to shit.
Much like this live stream.
Good. I saw this in the cinema. It won multitudes of Oscars for various things. I saw it in the cinema in 3D. It remains the best 3D experience I've ever had in a cinema.
Okay.
It took it from what I
Even
thought...
more so than Transformers 4.
I would say so, yes. It took it from being a 2D very good space movie to a roller coaster in space was, I think, how I described it before. What do you think?
I wrote no notes, basically.
Good. Is that a good
Yeah,
thing?
it's a very good thing.
Okay.
Because I was just kind of absolutely sucked into it from the moment it started, basically. There's only one thing that I don't like about it.
Okay, there are some things I don't like about it as well.
Okay, all right. Well, I think for me, overall, the story was great, the film was great. I think the performances are really, really good, particularly Sandra Bullock, because I mean, she
it's her show. She's on
she
screen
carries it
pretty much constantly for 90 minutes.
The 3D is, like you say, it is absolutely incredible. I watched this at home on my 3D TV.
Did you put it through your 5.1
I did
system?
put it through the 5.1 system as well, and
Because that adds a lot. I think.
It does. But it's interesting you say that because there's something about the audio that is the thing that I really don't like.
Oh, really?
And that's the score.
Okay.
Because it's too much of it. I think the bits for me that are really, really great is when there's no music, there's no score, and all you hear is, like you said last time out, was the vibrations through the suit or through, or just what they could hear. And I think the whole movie should have been like that. I don't think there should have been any score at all. I think that would have, because I found it was the score that pulled me out of the situation.
Okay.
I was on the edge of my seat anyway, but I think I would have been absolutely nail-biting if there had been no score at all, because it just didn't need it at all. Really didn't need it.
No, I think you're probably right.
But having said that, they say the 3D is absolutely phenomenal, and it really, really does add to the movie, I think. Even from the opening shot where you just see the Earth. It's just
the opening shot
stunning.
that runs about 19 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is I barely noticed any cuts because there aren't that many.
down. Blah, blah,
Because
blah.
I mean,
There are 156 shots in the whole movie.
I wouldn't have thought there were that many because I didn't notice the any kind of actual cuts at all. It just was flowed so seamlessly, and you felt like you're in that situation. You get kind of totally pulled in, even when he does things like going from an exterior shot to a POV and then kind of back out again. You never, at no point do you kind of question.
No, it seems sort of like a perfectly logical thing to do, even though the first shot goes from space, big view of Earth, all the way into Sandra Bullock's eye and out again.
Yeah, and at no point do you think, well, how can this be a POV shot? Because it doesn't.
Surely she now has a camera wedged in the side of her head.
Exactly. No. So I thought that was brilliant, and I mean the special effects again are just absolutely amazing because. I know you were saying that quite a lot of her body is actually CGI.
Well, she did. They had what they called Sandy's cage,
right.
which was where Bullock was kind of strapped into this ridiculous thing and had to do all these highly choreographed movements and was kind of thrown around all over the place.
Yeah.
But then when it came to the VFX, and she had a space suit on. Then when it came to the VFX, it's replaced most of that and just left her face.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean you really can't tell. I kind of was looking.
You look for the joins, don't you?
Yeah, and you kind of think, well, is she actually there right now, or is that a CGI suit? Because again, the body movement. If it, assuming the bits that I think were CGI, the body movement as they're kind of bouncing along the satellites and stuff like that, as things are kind of all hell breaking loose and everything like that. It just looks so natural and so. I mean, the movement in all looks really as you would expect it to in space, because I guess the physics are so different.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I don't like is when there's a fire in one of the space stations.
Right.
The zero-G fire looks fake. But I think that's partly because we don't really know what fire in zero gravity looks like. You don't really want to set one off as an experiment,
no, that's
do you?
True. No.
There's not an awful lot of reference material.
No. I was just trying to think I guess.
And there's one other thing I don't like. We'll get to that.
Okay, fine. I guess zero G fire would just in a ball expand until the oxygen's gone. I guess.
I suppose so.
But I get, and then in a confined space, if that's being moved about by other things, I don't know. It's anyone's guess really. Like I say, you don't really want to go and try and test it to find out.
No, the only other thing that I don't particularly like is, sorry, a tweet just came in. Woo! The only other thing I don't particularly like is the Wally bit.
Oh yes,
where she uses a fire extinguisher. It's like that was in a really big movie that you must have seen.
I know, yeah.
How can you do that again?
I did. If I had written notes, I would have written it that. Yeah. At least she saw Wally, because that would. Because that was when she does that. I was just like. Okay, it's perfectly. It makes perfect sense for her to do what she does, but you're right. It's been done in an animated family film, which it does it brilliantly well as well. But it was one of those things. The other thing I was thinking about when watching it was that I think if it wasn't astronauts, you'd question whether these people would be able to do all of the things that they do.
Yeah, I suppose so. But have you ever heard heard people like Chris Hadfield interview?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
They have to train to be everything. Yeah. So he has to know how to perform surgery. Yeah. He has to know how to
be a plumber.
Be an electrician, not just an electrician, like an electrical engineer. Yeah. So you have to be. Yeah. So that you have to be able to do all those things.
Yeah, and I did wonder if because I knew I had that reference, so I knew that was the case, and I wondered if people didn't have that, whether they kind of felt that it was. I don't know.
We have had 3 tweets pop in so far. Adam Stevens says, we missed the trick by not streaming this in 3D.
Yeah, we did.
We really did.
Can you do that? I think you can do that. Maybe we should think about
that. Mrs. Webb says it's our 3D TV, not your 3D TV.
Right, fair enough.
And Stuart Allen agrees with you on the score. He says, I don't have it on Blu-ray, but a fantastic extra would be to watch the film without a score.
Yeah, actually,
although
that
might piss off the composer.
It might do, but I would definitely do that, I think.
Marvellous. Yeah. Do we have anything else to talk about with Gravity?
I think. I genuinely did think it was.
Should we talk about the heavy-handed death and rebirth symbolism, or are we going to leave that?
Well, we could actually. Okay, there was one bit that will be a massive spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it.
There should be a graphic at the bottom of the screen that says we're spoiling a movie.
There might not be. But
there might not be. It's just. I think it's just been activated by the tech team in the corner.
Sorry. I think. There's the bit where she's finally managed to get into the Soyuz escape capsule.
I had no idea I crossed into your shot then, sorry.
Yeah, she gets into the Soyuz space capsule, but can't make it work because the thrusters don't work. And she's just kind of floating, and she resigns herself to the fact she's going to die. And then George Clooney just suddenly appears, having drifted off earlier, and you assume he's dead. He kind of reappears, gets in, has a chat with her as if nothing has happened. And at that point, I was just like, this better be a vision. It's probably it's the only time I've ever thought in a film, I hope this bit's a dream, because if he has actually genuinely come back, I will be really annoyed. Because I was just like, I don't want I thought that would really just completely undermine it. But thankfully, it was a vision.
Well, you'll be staggered to discover that apparently Mr. Clooney came up with that himself.
Right, that he comes back.
That he came back, yes. Yes. Oh,
Right.
God, listening to you and following tweets and all the rest of it is difficult. Adam Stevens is back. As someone who's collided with a lot of things in zero gravity, I couldn't believe how indestructible Sandra Bullock is.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, that is one thing that it takes a bit of suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
She does whack some of those satellites pretty hard.
She does.
But then I guess it. I don't know if you have this. I assume you still would have the same, like, impact.
I don't know.
That because obviously, would you be? I don't know. I can't. I'm not an astrophysicist, so I can't work out. I can't work out whether that would actually.
My illusions of you are shattered.
Yeah, I assume it must hurt if you bash into something in zero gravity. I don't see why it wouldn't, but if you're going at a slower speed, although I guess she isn't because they're going 1,000 miles an hour. That's just hurting my brain. I'm not going to think about it anymore.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is following us on Twitter and he can let us know. Please stop cutting to my close up. I'm looking into the wide camera. How are you doing?
So I know. I think. Anything more about Gravity or?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything else with it at all, or what did you think of the ending? Actually.
Wait, what's the ending? Oh, that's Death and Rebirth again, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's her being a little amoeba crawling out of the sea and growing legs and becoming all life again.
Yeah, because I can't decide if I really like it or if I don't like it. I'm kind of like I'm in an R-ing.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'll decide when I watch it again. Yeah,
I could do without all of the schmaltzy stuff, I think.
Yeah,
but
they do lay it on a bit thick about her daughter dying and all that kind of stuff, which...
But I'm going to insult a continent here. Yeah. Americans need heart in their movies.
Right, yes, that is
true. Oscar voters.
Okay, fine.
Need heart and struggle in their movies.
Yeah,
I will absolutely watch this over and over again, at the very least on a technical level.
Yeah.
I now need to go and buy a copy of the Blu-ray because I don't actually have one.
Right, yeah. I want to watch the special features
you're talking about. Absolutely.
Because I steered away from all of the press for this. I saw the teaser trailer, and then as soon as I saw that, I thought I don't want to know anything more about this film, and I just tried to stay that way as best as possible. I think I saw a couple of the behind-the-scenes shots over your shoulder when you were working on something, but I didn't. Apart from that,
there we go.
I kept it kind of clear, which is good. I'm pleased I did. Definitely one of those movies that is best not knowing anything going in.
No. Which would completely ruin for you. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Awesome. We have an email on Gravity from long-time supporter Pete Hammond.
Oh, excellent.
Who has been bothering us with emails since episode number 1.
Hello,
I
Pete.
Believe. Right. You are now all going to be treated to the wonderful spectacle of a man reading out an email live in camera on YouTube. Ready? And I'm going to be looking at my iPad because I can't. We don't have a teleprompter and I can't. Anyway, right. In his usual customary style, Pete says, "Hello, chaps. First up, congrats on reaching 100 episodes. So many fall by the wayside, but you lads have made it this far and hopefully will continue. Gravity. I saw this in my local World of Cine, the wonderful Huntingdon, in glorious 3D. Ordinarily, I cannot be doing with 3D as it gives me a headache and generally adds nothing to the experience. Plus, I object to the extra costs and having to wear 3D glasses over my usual specs. But for Gravity, I made an exception, hoping that they had used the extra dimension to good effect. And by Jove, they did. From the first shot all the way to the end, this film looks and sounds amazing. The 3D and CGI used properly, you can't see the joins. Oh, brackets. And it gives a properly immersive experience. I'm being distracted by your wife trying to distract me on Twitter. The sound design is also top-notch. I've not been into space. I expect they did their homework and that this is what it would look and sound like. Overall, the presentation is second to none. Which is just as well because the rest of it left me cold. Oh, for God's sake. They're doing this on purpose. You're having
fun with that, aren't you?
Yeah, doing this on purpose. The rest of it left me cold. Clooney just irritated the living shit out of me. I've loved Sandra Bullock since she appeared with her buttocks in Demolition Man, and she can usually do no wrong, but here I wanted her to die. Wow. At the end, I distinctly remember praying for a shark, but when the frog swam across the screen, I thought I'd settle for a big crocodile or piranhas at a push. I just couldn't get on board with the characters at all. Story, fine. The struggle to get home with limited resources after the Russians destroyed their satellite, all very believable. I'm surprised we don't get this kind of thing on the news every other week. But the characters, I just didn't care. It really lost me when Clooney reappeared. Yes, I know it was a dream, but it still elicited an audible, "Oh, do fuck off," for both me and the current Mrs. Hammond. Various people have said there are some glaring errors and convenient bits, Bullock knowing Russian being handy, but apparently all astronauts and payload specialists need to speak Russian. So fine. But as I say, I've not been to space and I trust Hollywood implicitly, so I have no quarrel with the tech side. I just didn't like it as a film, just as a demonstration of how 3D should be used. Is there anything I can cut off from this long email? I think it would lose a lot on standard TV.
Right.
All that said, I just watched Sharknado on Pick TV. That's time I won't be getting back. It's Tara Reid I feel sorry for. Very disappointed you're not doing Jaws 3D as part of your 3D special.
Oh man, we missed a trick with that, didn't we?
We did. But I feel we covered a movie of equal merit, Jaws 3D.
We did. Well, we've got a couple of tweets actually here. My wife saying that she liked it, except for the schmaltzy heaven talk. And also Adam Stevens also saying, trust me, you hit with your full weight plus speed. Floating looks soft, it isn't. So, there we go.
How many times, Adam Stevens, how many times have you been into space? I think it's 0.
I don't think he has.
No,
He's making
I don't think
it
he has
up.
either. Right, shall we move on?
Yes, okay.
Let's clumsily continue.
Yeah, okay, why not? Okay, so over to me, I guess. Drive Angry 3D. So, like we did, you remember we did Robot and Frank and Transformers, we went sublime to the ridiculous.
Yes.
Again, this is what we're doing, sublime to the ridiculous. We've got Gravity, which genuinely is the best use of 3D I think I've ever seen. And then we've got Drive Angry, which isn't. So the whole point of Drive Angry is that it is completely stupid, like utterly bonkers, and the 3D is used in the most kind of trashy, in-your-face, absolutely gimmicky way possible.
I realise I should be nodding my head and agreeing with you, but I'm trying to stay silent until it's my turn to review.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, before you do get to review, we have a little video to play. So when Kieran watched this, we decided that we'd stick a video up to kind of get his reactions, given that it is such a stupid movie, and we know that Kieran loves those so much. So hopefully we'll be able to cut to that VT now. No? Some shaking of heads. Some
Can't take
thinking.
department, we believe in you.
We can do it. No. Well, I'll keep talking about it until oh, there we go. Okay, so looks like we're having a couple of tech issues, so hopefully we're going to get those resolved. So should we talk about Drive Angry, and then we can see if we can come to the video a bit later?
Well, I don't know what I should say about Drive Angry without the video.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about it a bit more first?
Do you want to recount the plot in any way?
I'll try to. It's one of those movies that has a bizarre... It's not what you think it's going to be. Let's put it that way. It's basically, I thought, when I saw the first trailers or whatever, I thought, oh, it's Nicolas Cage, it's muscle cars, it's going to be like Gone in 60 Seconds style thing. And that's kind of what I thought it would be, but it definitely wasn't that at all. So Nicolas Cage plays a character who, he's done some bad things. He died, he went to hell. And in hell, what he gets to see over and over again is this maniac who kills his daughter and his son-in-law and kidnaps his granddaughter. So Nicolas Cage, being Nicolas Cage, manages to escape from hell, as you would do.
Over my shoulder,
down.
I can see the shaking head of our camera supervisor, who is a noted Nicolas Cage fan.
So he manages to escape from hell to hunt down this maniac, get his granddaughter back, and that's the basic plot, which is just ridiculous in itself. Then we have William Fichtner's character, the accountant. So his job is to basically just make sure that all the numbers add up in hell and everyone is where they should be. And it's his job to come and get Nicolas Cage back.
Yes.
So you kind of have Nicolas Cage hunting the maniac, and then you have William Fichtner hunting Nicolas Cage. Then we add into that Amber Heard, who is this young girl that Nicolas Cage kind of gets a lift with and kind of toes along on the storyline. Really, she kind of.
Well, she's escaping
like abusive boyfriend,
cheating fiance, I guess.
Yeah. So and then she kind of tags along and gets kind of embroiled in his misadventure. Really. That's about it. All I can say in terms of the plot. I don't know if we can get the video at all. No.
Give it a go.
Give it a go. We'll give it a go.
Buttons are being pressed.
buttons are
Being pressed furiously.
being pressed. Yeah. Well, I hope we get to see it.
I think it's stream angry over in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, is that a thumbs up? No, not a thumbs up. No. Oh, angry gestures. This must be riveting in the live stream. Absolutely riveting. Should we see if we've got any? Oh, we've got tweets.
Well, one, Mrs. Webb bloody loves Drive Angry.
Yeah, she does. Particularly Fickner, because he's amazing.
Yes.
Apparently. And, then we got another tweet from Adam. Oh, I've lost it.
Oh, I've been in zero gravity 15 times in one afternoon. Didn't grow up, but didn't grow up. That's probably about right. Didn't throw up, but got a wet face and bruises.
But now you can go live.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We've got no idea what you just saw or heard.
No, we have no clue.
It may have been a black screen. It may have been us. It may have been a video. A thumbs up or thumbs down on the chance of that video getting played at all?
Right, okay.
There were no thumbs involved in the gesture I just received.
Right, fine, okay. I think we're going to have to just go ahead and
Okay.
listen to what you think about Drive Angry. And
Which
then
is
we'll-
exactly what happened in the video.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. Well, we can put the video up as an extra afterwards.
Maybe we could.
We can stick it up on the YouTube channel.
Right.
My vote is one more try.
All right,
we,
one more
we,
try.
We think we're going to go for one more try. Do you want to try it now?
Let's try it now.
Okay, we're going to try
Buttons
it now.
being pressed. Ready?
Go.
We have a lovely still image of the
Brilliant. It's not playing ball with us today, is it?
Okay, gonna go back to your live camera.
Okay.
Do you know how easily we could have just done this as a normal audio
No,
podcast?
I know. But hey, we wanted to try it out. It's fine. Fingers crossed. Maybe we've got some other stuff we can show later.
Right.
Okay,
Are we live?
I think we are. Yeah.
Hooray, good. Right, so this film is batshit insane.
It is, yes.
It is.
Which is partly why I like it.
Apparently that's a still of me looking comatose on the screen. Yeah, it's 100% pure Grindhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's totally supposed to be.
Yeah, and to that end, it got me thinking. I'd love to see what Robert Rodriguez would have done with it.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah. I totally agree with that. That could have been really intriguing. Very intriguing, in fact. What I particularly like, particularly with the performances, is the fact that you can see they've got a sense of humour about what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're having a load of fun, but they're playing it straight. They're
Yeah.
not taking it seriously, but they're playing it straight.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Particularly Fickner.
Yeah, he is absolutely hands down the best thing in this film.
totally, yeah.
Nicolas Cage is rubbish.
Well, yeah, but what else do you expect? I kind of want him to be rubbish in this, though. I don't think if he was really amazing in it, I'm not sure it would kind of have the fun value that it has.
Fat Lou, the guy who employs Amber Heard
Yes.
in the diner,
Yeah.
we last saw him on the show in Cool as Ice.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
He's one of the guys chasing the father of the girl that Vanilla Ice
Right.
sneaks into the bedroom of, and
I've
I was going to say icebreakers.
no, that's not a good phrase. I've totally wiped that film from my brain
Why?
because it was just
It was
hideous.
better than Redline.
It was, well, yeah, marginally better than Redline.
I noted that women are treated with nothing but respect and dignity in that film.
Yeah, it's.
I think I noted that at the point where Amber Heard punches a naked woman into unconsciousness on her driveway.
That's true. I think Amber Heard's character is okay.
Yeah.
It's the others that are kind of, because she's always quite.
She's subjected to a beating or two, though.
She is, but it's always by somebody that you know is going to get their comeuppance, and you know that they're the bad guys basically. It's
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's not done. Well, I suppose gratuitous is not the right. It's not done in a. I can't think of the phrase. It's. When it happens to her, it kind of happens because you know that something bad is going to happen to the person that does it. It's kind of there for a reason. It's not just there for the sake of being there.
Can we talk about laziest shagger in the world, Nicolas Cage,
Yeah.
who has
Part
a
of the
full
reason.
sex scene and gunfight that's entirely ripped off from Shoot 'em Up,
Yeah.
and remains pretty much inert throughout.
Yes. Yeah. The only reason I pitched this, I wanted you to watch a 3D Nicolas Cage sex scene. That was just that is either going to send you over the edge or be your favourite film moment ever.
I realised what it was at the end. It felt like I was watching an adaptation of a comic book that Nicolas Cage really loves, because he's a massive comic fan,
Yeah.
but nobody else has ever heard of.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was him being attached to it that got it made.
Yeah. I think you're probably right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I will say that it's shit,
Yes.
it's rubbish,
Yeah.
but it's not bad.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can sit there and just thoroughly enjoy it because it's so stupid.
Yeah, do you know what? I was actually, it struck me while I was sitting there, because I don't have a 3D TV at home, so I had to watch this on Monday night in the office, on the Office 3D TV.
Yeah.
And I was actually quite sad that I was watching it by myself. Like, about 2/3 of the way, it's like, I could really do with 5 mates and some pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the type of movie it is. And I think also that we should talk about the 3D. Because it is just stupid and over the top. Everything's like into the camera and all that
from
kind of
the
stuff.
menu.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love one of the worst things in it, and one of the best things in it is the same moment, which is when William Fichtner's driving this tanker, the hydrogen tanker, and it kind of keels over, and he just casually steps out of it onto a car that's nearby, and the compositing is just terrible. But the 3D is just completely over the top. But the whole scene is just so brilliantly
That
silly.
hydrogen tanker is awfully rendered. It's not quite Birdemic.
No,
but
no,
it's
not at all.
Sharknado.
Yeah, it's quite. It's one of those things you kind of end up both loving and hating aspects of it at the same time. Which I really, really do enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if if I'm ever going to watch this again. Not by myself.
No, I agree. It's definitely a kind of a group experience.
Yes, I have friends.
Well done.
And we've been talking for a while about doing Bad Movie Night, and I might add this to the list.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah.
When I first saw it in 3D, in 2D, and I really enjoyed it in 2D anyway. But when watching it in 2D, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can see what should be in 3D, and you can kind of go, okay, that would be absolutely
3D
insane.
really does add an extra layer of insanity.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what I mean. It's completely gimmicky, and it is only there to make it more stupid. One of my favourite kind of running things is when William Fichtner flicks his coin and it comes up into the camera and out of the TV, and it comes down as either his FBI badge or whatever it is he's trying to do, and that kind of stuff is all brilliant, good fun. So I guess that's Drive Angry.
It is. I'm going to bring back a feature that is, I'd say, popular on our audio podcast.
Right.
Foreign titles.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Colombia decided that this was Hell at the Wheel.
Right, that's not a bad title.
Brazil was Fury on Wheels.
Again, that's got a good title.
France went for Hell Driver.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a wild ride in Serbia.
Right.
Portugal went for Infernal Destination. And Spain, Blind Fury.
Oh, you're kidding. Brilliant.
Blind Fury.
Excellent. Sadly not...
a show favourite.
Oh, could you imagine if it wasn't Nicolas Cage, it was...
Rutger Hauer. Blind.
Yes, that would be amazing. I tell you what this did make me think was, imagine William Fichtner in a movie where he plays kind of that sort of straight-laced guy that he plays in this, but a hitman.
Right.
And then he has to team up with this guy who's not quite as straight-laced as him, typical kind of buddy cop thing.
Right.
But it's his dad, played by Christopher Walken. That would be amazing.
Hold on. I think my brain's just fallen out through my eyes. Oh my God.
Because I think they'd be brilliant as father and son, Fichtner and Walken.
Although there's probably only about 5 years separating them.
No, there's a lot more on that.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know.
Okay, so what are we going to do next? Are we going to see if we can get the video up, or are we going to do something else? What do we think, tech team?
Which video do you want?
Drive Angry?
Can we try the Drive Angry one?
Give it a go.
Okay.
I'm going to Twitter in case it goes horribly wrong.
Okay, we'll try the Drive Angry video one more time.
So as part of Extremes of 3D, Tommy's making me watch Drive Angry in 3D. I don't have a 3D TV at home, which means I'm currently in the office after hours, hoping nobody sets the alarm. I've got my 3D glasses. I've got my can of ginger beer, which, as we know, fuels me throughout the podcasts. Got my iPad, if necessary, for taking notes. Somebody, I believe it was Tom, thought it would be a brilliant idea if we filmed me while I was watching it. So, I don't know, I'm just going to watch it and see what happens. Catch you on the other side. Holy Jesus, that's just the menu. All right, let's crack this bastard open and go. Bastard remains uncracked open. There we go. I've already got a headache. Oh God. Oh. This is already making my eyes go funny. Well, that was nice. A man just got his hand blown off. In 3D. Is Cage wearing eyeliner? William Fichtner has just arrived. Usually a good sign. I'm fascinated by the decisions that must have gone into Nick Cage's look in this film. Straw hair, facial hair that doesn't quite work, eyeliner, and double black denim. 3D is actually starting to hurt my eyes now. Oh, and I'm only 15 minutes in. Oh, fruit. Oh good, country music, always a sign of quality. I presume this movie is all drinking, driving, shooting and fucking, because it appears to be so far. Nick Cage is the laziest shagger I've ever seen in a film. So the Saxon gunfight combo is straight out of Shoot 'em Up. And I don't understand how in this movie or in that one, nobody's penis gets broken. Bill Fichtner looks an awful lot like a predatory bird in a suit. So Nicolas Cage just pronounced Baron Samedi in the worst way I've ever heard in my life. That is the worst arrangement of all things bright and beautiful I've ever heard. That's a better wig than Nick Cage's. The funniest thing in this film so far is Nicolas Cage with a skull bandana wrapped around his head as an eye patch. For some reason it just cracks me up. I think I can hear the cleaners. It's not just the 3D hurting my eyes, it's the glasses hurting my nose. There's a man running around on fire shooting at Nicolas Cage. This is bonkers. How many people are on fire? Okay, the second funniest thing in that film is the song used at the end when he drives back into hell that just sounds like they couldn't afford the rights to Bat Out of Hell. God, that's funny. There are characters listed in these credits as fucking driver, fucking middle and fucking passenger. Well, Dash Drive Angry. I'm not sure I really have the words for it right now. Let's go back to the studio and we'll talk about it some more. Tom?
Okay, so it looks like we're back and you got to see the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you got to finally see what Kieran's reactions were. So as we've talked about it, we can't really do much else. So I think, should we go to the Twitter?
There's been some tweets, yes.
The Twitter? That's terrible.
The Twitter? All right, here we are on the Twitter and on my camera. Right, here we go. Oh, hey, it's Stuart Allen again. In every way, Drive Angry was pretty shit, but I'll be damned if I didn't leave the cinema with a big smile on my face.
That sums it up pretty well.
Your wife says Amber Heard is gorgeous with 2 exclamation marks.
Okay.
So you're in trouble there. Because she's far better looking than you, I'm afraid.
I know.
And Adam Stevens, who seems to be our most dedicated watcher, says the shootout/in scene. How was the girl enjoying it? He wasn't even pumping. He stays completely static.
I tell you what we did forget to talk about is the way she does enjoy it with when he gets cattle prodded.
I was trying to work out who of the two got enjoyment out of that. And I think it might actually have been both of them.
I don't know, but that's the moment she's supposed to enjoy it, isn't it? So yeah.
From cattle prod, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Cattle prod orgasms to what is it?
We're gonna have a little bit of an interlude now because we figured that actually this video would have gone further back. So we've got a couple of videos we're going to show you now. Lots of people often wonder what we actually do for our job. So we've got a little show reel of stuff that we do, and then we've also got our games thing that we're involved in, which I'll let you explain.
Yeah, for weeks we've been plugging a thing called the Spritey Ducks, which is a gaming channel on YouTube that we're both heavily involved in. I think I've shot and or edited all but one of the videos that's gone up so far.
Yeah, Helen's shot some, I've shot some. So it's pretty kind of getting in there, doing all the stuff.
Yeah, I'm linking it to Have You Seen?
Yeah, I know. Just saying.
Helen's dying in the corner. This is amazing. I think it's just being referenced.
Yeah.
I wish I had a shot of her right now.
I know, yeah. Oh, look, there she is.
There she is. Hi,
Helen.
that's Helen. She's our camera supervisor, our very talented camera operator and editor.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to praise you live on the internet. So anyway, Spritey Ducks is a gaming channel that we run on YouTube, and I think you're going to see one of the videos introducing the team. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Hopefully, Run VT.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Hey, listen! Sure, you'll have seen me a lot on this channel, but I am not the only Spritey Duck. Let's meet the rest of the team.
Hi, I'm Rob. I like musical instruments. Anything that makes a noise, really. I spend a hideous amount of time on YouTube. I love it. And also anything that's based in fantasy.
Hi, I'm Kieran. I like rock music, pro wrestling, and kung fu movies.
Hi, I'm Tom. I love games, movies, and pretty much all forms of motorsport.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I like musicals, eating, and action films.
And I'm Adam. I like movies, beer, and like all the Spritey Ducks, a damn good video game. Keep your eyeballs pinned, figuratively, not literally, to this channel to find out more about the team.
Yeah, I think we're back live.
We are a
hopefully.
slick production.
That's amazing. Okay, so hopefully that kind of shows you the Spritey Ducks channel and kind of what Kieran and I do for a
And
living.
normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this.
No. So pitches time, I guess. So you can go first.
You're going to make me go first.
Absolutely.
Right. I was thinking back through our 99 previous episodes.
Yeah.
Have we done a zombie movie?
No.
We're going to do a zombie movie.
Excellent. Okay. Cool.
One of the Dead.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which I found while scrolling through. Tech team have just burst out laughing in the corner. I think we might have killed our vision mixer.
Yeah, I think we should cut to camera 4 just about now. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I get the feeling this is the first they're hearing of this film.
Yeah.
So, I came across this film in 2010. I went and covered Cannes for our company.
Yeah.
And this film hadn't been made yet.
Right.
So I met the writer and director, and he had a big booth set up because it's financed by all kinds of TV companies and film companies in Cuba, and they put quite a lot of money into it, I think. And he had this booth there, and he had these trailers that he'd made, and the trailers were really good, very, very funny stuff. And he seemed like a really nice, likable guy, and I was like, I'll remember that movie. Missed it when it came out in the cinema.
Right.
Missed it when it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
Scrolling through Amazon Doesn't Love Film the other day.
Right.
One of the Dead popped up, so I thought I'd watch it.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool.
So, here is the the lowdown, as it were.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Wrong camera.
You'll get that eventually, I'm sure.
I know. I know. What we need is tally lights.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Right, that's how the professionals do it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong camera. So, Havana. Hello, hi,
Oh,
how
sorry.
you doing?
Yeah, that's all right.
Havana is being overrun by zombies, and
Yeah.
lazy, selfish Juan is forced to take action.
Right.
So, armed with his trusty oar, I'm going to need to read this, sorry. He teams up with his 20-year-old daughter Camilla, his slobby, accident-prone best friend Lazaro, Lazaro's himbo son Vladdy California,
Right.
cross-dresser China, and China's brick shithouse of a boyfriend Primo,
Right.
who has an unfortunate habit of fainting at the sight of blood.
Okay.
And they launch a company,
Right.
Juan of the Dead,
Okay.
with the slogan, "We kill your loved ones." They plan to make some money by charging people to take care of their recently zombified relatives.
Okay. Right. That sounds just absolutely insane.
It is.
Good.
It's a little bit bonkers in a good way.
Excellent.
It's kind of it's rough around the edges, and it lacks polish, but it has everything that I think a low-budget horror comedy needs.
Okay.
It's inventive, it's gory, and it's funny.
Okay.
And to that end, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
It wears its political satire heart on its sleeve,
Right, okay.
let's say.
Right.
There's lots of talk of the state of Cuba past and present and hopes for the future.
Okay. Is it as subtle as the North Korean movies we watched?
It is absolutely as subtle as the North Korean
okay,
movies
fine,
we've
right.
watched,
Excellent.
but far better made.
Okay, cool, awesome. I remember you coming back from Cannes and talking about this
Yes.
film then, and,
Yes.
and just at the time thinking, A, that is a great title,
Yes.
and B, I do hope that movie lives up to the hype that you gave it then. So I will definitely look forward to watching
I
this.
still have on my shelf at home a box I was given by the director, which is kind of splattered in fake blood, and it came
Right.
with I think it had some art cards and USB stick and all
Right.
kinds of stuff in that.
Yeah.
And that sits on my shelf of crap
Oh, nice.
at
Awesome.
home, along with my lightsaber and my wrestling mask. Not my personal wrestling mask,
Good. Let's hope
the
not.
one I have. There we go. Juan of the Dead.
Awesome. Okay, well, I guess it's my turn now.
Yes,
But first, as people will know, hello over there.
it's your camera.
Yeah, I know. As people know, we tend to put pitches to you guys out there on the channel itself.
Can I stop you there?
What?
You say tend to.
Okay, we don't. We try to, and we fail
We
quite
got
a
about
lot.
6 months in between
Yeah.
videos.
I think there's 7 up, which is okay.
All right.
So we've got 7 videos up at the moment, and I was planning to put another one up, but we decided, hey, why not include it in the show? So hopefully, fingers crossed, the
Again.
tech team are going to cue that in now. Hello, welcome to another episode of Have You Seen? Today we're up in the music room because it's slightly more appropriate for the film that I'm going to pitch you. This is Spinal Tap, perhaps the greatest comedy of all time. A lot of people seem to think so, and it is a bona fide classic that everybody should see without exception. Well, that seems like I'm over-egging it a bit, but I really am not. It is an amazing film. It's a spoof rockumentary made by Rob Reiner. It features Spinal Tap, who consists of Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, and Michael McKean. It's a spoof on that kind of classic 70s and 80s heavy metal. They were based on bands like Saxon and Led Zeppelin and Status Quo and all of those kind of guys. The thing that really sells this film, what really makes it perfect, is the fact that the songs are genuinely great songs. They were written by the cast, performed by the cast perfectly. You can put them alongside classic rock tracks or classic metal tracks, and sometimes you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference between the spoof and the not spoof. It features classic songs such as Stonehenge, Big Bottom, Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You, a whole host of amazing songs. Again, this is a movie that I can watch over and over and over again. It makes me laugh every single time. It's so beautifully observed that you pick up on nuances in the performances every single time. I think I see something different, with viewing after viewing after viewing. I absolutely love it. It is, like I say, it's often voted one of the greatest comedies of all time, particularly by comedians. I think the first time I ever even heard of it, I was watching one of those shows where they have a lot of people doing their top 10 comedies or their top 10 action films or what have you, and there was a whole group of British comics. And all of them kept saying, oh, I'd pick Spinal Tap, but Stephen Fry's picked that, so I'm not allowed to. And every time we went to a different comic, they'd say, oh, I'd pick Spinal Tap, but Stephen Fry picked it, so I'm not allowed to. And then eventually got to Stephen Fry, who said, I'm picking Spinal Tap, and this is why. As soon as I saw that, I thought, I need to find this movie, because if all these comedians think it's the funniest thing they've ever seen, then it's got to be something. I saw it, I watched it again, and then I think I probably watch it. I went through a period of watching it every month, and now I kind of watch it every couple of months. I still love it to this day, so please do check it out. Okay, I think we're back.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so
What was that? Because I haven't seen it.
Oh, that was you haven't seen it. Sorry. Okay, so that was a video picture of Spinal Tap
Oh, good. Yes.
because that's something
Which
we both
everybody
love.
should see.
Yeah, absolutely, because we both love it. So
How
I
has
figured I'd do
nobody
that.
seen Spinal Tap?
Quite a lot of people haven't seen it.
Huh.
I think there's 3 people in this room who haven't seen it.
Huh. Well, there we go. There's only 5 people in this room.
I
We've
know.
both seen
I
it.
know.
Okay, interesting.
So I guess it's my pitch now. So
Yes, before that,
okay, you got
a
Twitter.
brief return to Twitter.
Okay.
Adam Stevens can't believe we just had a commercial break. What a bunch of sellouts.
Fine.
And Mrs. Webb
Yeah.
says, yes, Tom does have his own music room.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, you know, I like playing musical instruments. It's fun. Anyway, my pitch, because that's
Yes.
the most important thing.
Go.
I'm going to pitch you probably my favourite film of last year, I think. It's low budget, independent movie, but having said that, it was written by Peter Morgan, directed by Ron Howard,
Oh,
stars Chris Hemsworth and
I know what it
Daniel
is
Brody.
already. Yeah.
There you go. So I'm going to pitch you Rush.
good.
As people who listen to the show probably know or probably don't know, I don't know, I'm a huge F1 fan. So as soon as I heard that there was going to be a feature film based on the rivalry between James Hunt and Niki Lauda,
Mhm.
I was so excited that it was going to be awesome. And when I heard it was a Peter Morgan script, I was even more excited. We covered Damn United on the
Yes,
show,
we
didn't
did,
we?
yeah.
So
And despite being about football, which neither of us enjoy,
Yeah.
both of us very much like the Damn
absolutely,
United.
yeah. So Peter Morgan is really, really good at writing scripts about true stories, but kind of dramatising them in a way so that it really works within a film.
Mhm.
He has a tendency to kind of, he doesn't really change things, but he might shuffle them a little bit or give a bit of artistic license,
Mhm.
maybe the odd combined character, that kind of stuff. With Rush, he's been pretty faithful with it. There was a screening ahead of the German Grand Prix for the people that run Formula One and
Mhm.
all of the current drivers, and it was standing ovation, good. And he said, Ron Howard said he was more nervous about that screening than he
Yeah.
was screening Apollo 13 to the astronauts at NASA.
Wow.
It's been a resounding success. It's quite incredible given that it's pretty low budget. The initial script was written so that there was no actual race action in it at all.
I think that might have been a mistake.
Well, actually, I think that works to its advantage because it was written and worked so that effectively the story is a race between the two characters.
Okay, yeah.
And I think because then they got a bit more budget than they expected, they were then able to add in the race scenes.
Okay.
And there aren't actually a whole lot. There's some great race action in there. There's a few little bits of CGI where they have to replicate accidents and stuff. A lot of those F1 cars are still around and still running. So the owners would often they would bring them down, and obviously they had all these stunt drivers, but they weren't allowed near the F1 cars. And the owners was just like, if they're going to race, we're going to race them.
Right.
And they were like inches apart,
Mm.
and they're doing a pretty decent speed as well. So it's about Niki Lauda and James Hunt, and it kind of culminates with the 1976 World Championship season, which is one of the most epic seasons in Formula One history. We've spoken about Senna and Prost when we've covered the Senna documentary,
Yes.
and their rivalry was kind of similar to that. There was a lot of respect, but a lot of needling, and it's very similar in character as well. You've got Niki Lauda, who's very technical and very methodical, and everything he works out, calculates risk percentages, and he knows how to set the car up and all of this kind of stuff. Whereas James Hunt was this legendary playboy, wore a badge on his t-shirt that says "Sex, the breakfast of champions," and he was boozing and drinking and God knows what. And it's just good to see those kind of characters interact and tell the story of that rivalry. The performances from Hemsworth and Brule are fantastic. Daniel Brule is uncannily like Niki Lauda, and I reckon once you've watched it, jump on YouTube, see if you can find a couple of interviews from Niki Lauda then and also from James Hunt, and you'll see just how good those performances are.
When did Niki Lauda stop racing?
He stopped he retired and then he came back. And
Because I used to watch F1 in the Nigel Mansell kind of era.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very.
still been around a bit
He
then.
finished in '84, I think, off the top
Okay.
of my head. It might have been '85. I think it was '84,
Okay.
or maybe '85. It was around that sort of time.
Okay.
So it would have been when I was first aware of F1, because I definitely remember hearing. Bizarrely enough, I remember hearing James Hunt commentating on Niki
Yes, because I
Lauda.
remember James Hunt as a commentator.
Yeah, with
and I
Murray
also went
Walker.
to school with a kid called James Hunt, which is a bit
Right.
weird.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. So that's my movie that I'm going to pitch you.
Okay.
Because I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Marvellous.
So I think we're done, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to turn and face this camera.
Oh,
That
creaking.
was a good noise. That was my hip. It's time for the plugs and thanks. So, what do we want to plug? Our Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter, right. Shall I do this again? Let's do this
Yeah.
again. Okay, so if you have seen either Rush or Juan of the Dead or both, then you can contact us on Twitter at HYS Podcast. The website is haveyouseen.net. The Facebook page is facebook.com/haveyouseenpodcast. The email is podcast@haveyouseen.net. And the YouTube channel that you're watching right now is youtube.com/HYS Podcast. I'm amazed I remembered all of those off the
am
top
too.
of my head.
I'm completely gobsmacked, to be perfectly honest, because you can never do it.
No. I've got to look at my notes for the next bit though.
Yeah, okay.
We like shares and likes on Facebook, particularly of new show posts. We like retweets on Twitter, particularly of new show tweets. We like correspondence about films we've covered, and we like pitches for films you think we should cover on the show.
Yep.
Oh, we also like reviews and ratings on iTunes. I always miss that one.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who has been watching, and if you're listening to the audio version, everybody who is listening.
Yeah.
Thank you to Upbeat Productions for not only letting us into the submersible,
Yeah, there they are.
but there they go. That is, go back to camera 4. Down there, that's Helen Murray, camera supervisor. Zara Ballantyne Grove is producer/VT operator, and Robert Leventhal, who is usually just credited as studio/submersible manager, today has been the vision mixer/director.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to see it, but we presume that all of them have done a spectacular, outstanding job.
Yeah, hopefully.
The only other person we usually thank is Alexia Malm for his continued technical expertise.
Yes.
So
The
thank
Bizzard.
you very, very much. The Bizzard.
Yeah.
A tweet's just appeared on my iPad that says your wife is going to put the kettle on.
Excellent. That's
So I
fantastic
think
news.
that's our cue to go.
Yes.
And we will be talking about Rush and Juan of the Dead on episode 101, I presume next week sometime.
You know what? We missed a trick. We should have done 1984.
What?
Have you ever seen 1984?
No.
Okay. Maybe we could add that in as an extra movie. We'll talk about this afterwards.
All right. Brilliant. I did a brilliant out and you just ruined it.
Sorry.
Thanks. That's what usually happens.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.